We're at the Super Bowl of car shows, Pebble Beach. The first moment I saw the car, I was sound asleep in my bed, and Tim sent me a text, it was a WhatsApp and a video chat, and he's standing in front of a car, and he goes, "Eric, I found it." I said, "What'd you find?" He goes, "It's a time capsule. It's a perfect 300 SL, 2 owners, lives in the same town forever, beautiful. We need to do something about this now." So he goes, "Can you watch a video?" So I get up, I get out of bed, I go into my pad into my bathroom, trying to keep Jessica, leave Jessica to sleep. And Tim proceeds to show me a video of the video chat of the car. He walks around and he shows me the paint meter. He shows me all the original things in the trunk and the tire chains and the beautiful paint job and the beautiful hard top, and it was just everything. So every single detail was always a question. We didn't want to do anything to damage its originality because it had original paint, it had original leather. So it was about, if a seam had opened up, close the seam back up. If get the dry ice machine and get the old underneath the car, because the German roads have this like a black, almost a sandy charactered tar on them, and so that had kicked up all underneath the car, and so we wanted to clean the little details. But everything is a decision, because every time you do one thing, you go to the next thing and you see the next thing. It was driven about 127,000 kilometers. They did everything that car needed to keep it in an incredibly wonderful state of preservation. So we got the benefit of being the next caregiver for this car and getting the opportunity to share this car with America. This car never left Germany, and it flew here, and after it had been worked on and cared for and polished, and we've been continuing that efforts with detailing and preparation and getting just the right accessories to really show off the wonderful, beautiful design and engine and leather and paint. And this portrait of a 300 SL is going to be on the most beautiful stage in the world at Pebble Beach, and we're going to share it and hopefully take home a trophy. So one of the other wonderful things about this car was the family that took care of it, the 2 gentlemen that took care of this car and their families, all took very seriously its service. So it went only to Mercedes Service and Mercedes Classic Center in Germany, and they documented every single time it was serviced. The other wonderful thing in those documents was its registration card. It's still wearing its original license plates. From 1963, it was registered in Reutlingen, Germany, and it had its same registration plates and same license plates that you see on the car today were on that car from new. So that's almost unheard of, because the car was owned by 2 people who lived in the same town. The first person, Dr. Stoll, owned that car and kept it for 11 years. And then from the 11th year until last year, that car was owned by Mr. Kinnear. To have 2 owners and 2 owners in the same town, it's crazy. So it's a wonderful piece of its history that it must have been great to have seen this car driving around that town for, from 1963 until last year. The other amazing part of this, and the privilege I had working with the talented people at Bechtel, working with Tim and working with Barak and the rest of the gang, was an interesting experience. Tim is an amazing expert, but I challenged him at every turn. I think I may have driven him crazy, but we changed only the things that had been changed before. So if someone had taken a clamp or a metal fitting or a hose and replaced it, but they may have replaced it with a more modern hose, we did our best to get exactly the period pieces to put the car back in the condition it was when it was made. If it was a Bosch part that was replaced, we found a Bosch part that was original, and we restored it and put it back in the car. So this car is just the way it was when it left, but it's got a lot of great, honest wear. Well, the nice part about Tim and his team is, well, Tim, he can find cars and has continued to help me find more cars. I've developed a bad addiction that I think my family thinks it's time for me to get a conservator, because first we had the 280 SE, that was my mother's car that we had restored. Then we found the 300 SL, and in the middle of doing that, we found a ZF 5-speed, the last one ever made. Now we found that, I mentioned earlier that I had a couple of favorites. We found a Rudge 1957 Roadster. That was a stand-in wagon for the Turin show in Italy, and we're putting that car back, although it had been restored once before, we're putting it back to all its original livery. So it's going to be silver with a black interior. It'll be fabulous when it's done. That'll be the next installment. And then we, just last week, found another car that was high on my list, a gullwing. And it wasn't just a gullwing, it was a Rudge wheel gullwing, so one of 34 or 35 ever made, and in fabulous colors. It's 353 blue with a beautiful dark red interior on the inside. When it's done, it's going to stop you dead in your tracks. Can't wait to have it, but I just have to build a bigger garage in New York now so I can house all these wonderful treasures. If we're really lucky, because I think we were staggeringly lucky, because to get our first car that we've ever applied to Pebble Beach into Pebble Beach is almost impossible. More than one person said to me, you're never going to get your first attempt in at Pebble Beach. I want to thank the people at Pebble Beach and Sandra. The real hope is that one of those other cars that we just spoke about are good enough to be invited to come to Pebble Beach, and we'll be sitting here again next year. And so now we have to figure out what's next and what can get slotted in, because I know how busy Bechtel is getting these days. But we're so excited to pick what's next and then apply for that to come to Pebble Beach next year. See you back here in 2026.